All right. I know many of you are excited about this one. We've been waiting 2 years for the next LTS release of Ubuntu 14.04 just released. And you guys in the Cup of Linux chat room at cupoflinux.com asked me, you guys said, hey Spat, are you going to do another roundup like you did on the last LTS releases? You bet! This is the Ubuntu Shmuntu Roundup right now on Spatry's Cup of Linux. Alright, so here we are. We're starting up our roundup with the mother of them all, Ubuntu 14.04. And in having a look at this really doesn't bring a whole lot of changes that I could really notice, other than when I went into the scopes and did a search for Ozzy Osbourne, I didn't get any Amazon results. However, you will notice there is an Amazon link here. The keyboard shortcut feature is also a really nice thing that I haven't seen in any other releases. Maybe I skipped a release and they've had this before. Not sure. Okay. So I haven't seen this before, so I thought this was kind of cool that they included this, because now you have the ability to see this, and by pressing down the super key, you can make this window disappear and reappear again so that you can get these commands and that sort of thing, because pretty much when you were using Unity, you're going to want to issue a lot of key commands to it. But this is a complete operating system, comes with everything pretty much that you're going to need to get most of your work done. It's got a web browser, it's got a full Office suite, and all the other applications that you would come to expect. Now let's have a quick rundown of the changes that have occurred in this. You have a choice of application menu positions now, so you can have the menus appear either on the panel, or you can have them appear on the applications themselves. You can application click to minimize from the launcher. A wider range of scale for launcher icons from 16 to 64 pixels. There have been appearance improvements for faster computers. This has the option of using borderless windows, just like I have on my own Manjaro Cup of Linux spin. So now you can have borderless windows, which will allow you to tile your windows nicely and that sort of thing. And personally, I really don't care for window borders myself, so that's a nice change. New language status icon. They harmonize the appearance of the lock screen. You have system settings courtesy of the Unity Control Center. They, I guess they're no longer using Gnome Control Center in this. This is using Linux kernel 3.13. We've got 3.14 in Manjaro. That means it's obsolete the day it shipped. Just kidding, just kidding. I couldn't resist that one. You have multitask filtering by text input, and since Ubuntu 1 is due to close in June, this does not support Ubuntu 1. So you might want to open up a Dropbox account or a Google Drive account, because they give you plenty of free space to store your stuff in the cloud. Cool stuff indeed. Alright, so a lot of installed software comes with this. You have a tool for getting those additional drivers. Some games come included with this. You have all of your settings and everything you need. Firefox is loaded in with this for surfing the internet. You also have the ability to do some desktop sharing with this. You have Gparted for editing your partitions, and a bunch of other tools, a full Office suite, some games. And this also has some accessibility tools as well, such as the Orca screen reader. You also have Onboard, which is a nice little on-screen keyboard. So for those of you who want to just type with the mouse, you can actually do that. I've always thought that was a nice feature as well. And a plethora of other things. Now we have Kubuntu. All right, and let's cover what has changed in this release. You have KDE 4.13. This comes with the new M1 Discoverer, which now has some prettier graphics and that sort of thing as a package manager for installing applications. You have an all-new driver manager, GwenView plugin installation, new touchpad configuration, KDE instant messaging, improved localization configuration, USB creator improvements. Personally, I still like DD from the terminal. That's the foolproof way of getting those images onto a USB stick. And then, of course, new system notifications come with this as well. All right, and as you will see here, we have a nice looking desktop. This did have a desktop folder, but personally, I don't like anything on my desktop. You have a cashew here where you can add widgets and that sort of thing. Same song and dance. Wish there was a really good foolproof way of getting rid of these cashews. Otherwise, I probably would use KDE. It would also be nice if you get the whisker menu shooed onto the KDE panel too, because I like that menu the best out of all of the Linux offerings out there. At any rate, yeah, so you can add widgets, lock the screen, yada, yada, yada. Okay, and you get your clock and time and all that other stuff here. Very nice indeed. All right, by default, Kubuntu comes with the standard application launcher. I personally prefer the classic, so I'm going to go ahead and switch to that. And then, basically, I really don't know why they have the LibreOffice math listed twice here in different categories, but I imagine you can get a menu editor and you can change all of that. GwenView, K-Snapshot, LibreOffice comes with this, Ocular Document Viewer, and a bunch of other utilities. You get all of the tools necessary for doing all of your interactions online, multimedia tools with K3B being the best disk burner out there, Dragon Media Player, which is awesome, Amarok as your music player, very nice indeed. The full LibreOffice suite as stated with the inclusion of mail settings. And of course, a bunch of other little tools. You got Java. You have all your system settings here where you can have full control of your system. Believe me, folks, I've shown you how to use the system settings in many, many, many videos. So you have that available to you. And then, of course, more system tools and utilities are available. This is a complete operating system. If you love the KDE desktop and you want to try the latest and greatest KDE, it's known for being a lot faster than previous releases. I like the improvements they keep bringing to the table, and I'm sure many of you who love KDE will come to enjoy this as well. So you may want to consider visiting Kubuntu.com and getting your copy of this distribution. The next one in our roundup is the smallest offering that is in the Ubuntu family, and this one will actually fit on a CD. Great for those of you who are running older legacy hardware. Great option for those of you who are still running Windows XP and you don't want to go out and buy a new computer. You can put this on that older computer and this will run. This is called Lubuntu. This uses the LXDE desktop. It is also a complete operating system, and to be honest with you, I think this is beautiful the way they laid this out and the way this looks. Let's talk about some of the things that are new in this release. This has long-term support for 3 years, like all the other offerings. This uses the new PCMan FM 1.2.0 version with a lot of features, folder settings, dual pane view, and menu editing. It also has update of the artwork, new icons, theme, more compatibilities. So really not a whole lot of new things that are being brought to the table here, but the thing is it does have an updated kernel and it does have updated software, which is very important for your security and that sort of thing. Okay, and this is a complete operating system as well. All right, you'll see that in accessories you have pretty much everything you're going to need. You have an archive manager, a character map. You can manage your desks. You have the PCMan FM file manager, which is one of the nicest lightweight file managers. Okay, you have a calculator, an image viewer, leaf pad, like a notepad program. You have the LX terminal and XPad in graphics. You get a simple graphics editor, a document viewer with simple scan. In Internet, you get Firefox for surfing the Internet. You get Pigeon for all your instant messaging needs, Sylpheed, and Transmission for BitTorrent. All right, and then in Office, you get AbiWord included with this, which happens to be one of my favorite word processing programs. You also get Gnome for editing your spreadsheets. In sound and video, Audacious for handling all of your music needs. You get the Gnome M Player You get GoofC View, which is a webcam viewer, and XF Burn, which does an excellent job of burning disks. Probably the second best disk writer that the Linux world has to offer. My first choice still being K3B. I really like how this looks. This isn't really hard to customize either. You can right-click on your desktop, going into desktop preferences. Okay, you can. It's not fancy like many other desktops are. It is designed to be lighter weight. So you would have a dialog where you would, pick maybe which backgrounds you want. It's a little bit different. Rather than having a screen that shows you all the thumbnails, you would have to manually pick them out. Okay, but the thing is, it's still very easy to customize this. You can set up your desktop icons and other advanced features with this. So I'm really liking the way that this one appears. So if you have an older machine, Lubuntu may very well be the best choice for you if you're moving over from Windows XP. Next in the roundup is Xubuntu. And let me tell you what, kids, I always loved the XFCE desktop, and this is using the latest and greatest. Let's have a quick rundown of what you are getting with the latest Xubuntu. It appears we have a number of memory leak fixes. This now features wallpaper cycling, so you can select a directory with a bunch of images in it, and it will cycle images for you. You have additional removable device icons, trash emptying fixes, adding mugshot user account profile editor app. This uses Menu Libre instead of a la carte for editing menus. And then, of course, this uses Light Locker lock screen in place of X screensaver. And of course, this is yet another really nice lightweight desktop, great for those of you running Windows XP who wish to switch over to a Linux operating system. This one is a very nice one indeed, and it also supports Compiz and all the special effects and that sort of thing. This now includes the Whisker menu, which happens to be my personal favorite menu for any Linux distro ever. Absolutely love this one. Okay, and being a complete operating system in its own right, it's got pretty much everything that you're going to need for most day-to-day tasks. A number of accessories such as your calculator, your archive manager, you have a character map. I love the file searching capabilities this has, as well as the bulk renamer that this also includes with it. Okay, and in games you just get Mines and Sudoku, but the thing is, it is compatible with Steam if you want to get your game on. Okay, and then of course you get the GIMP with this, as well as a document viewer, Ristretto, which is a nice lightweight image viewer, and a scanner. Everything you need for the internet, such as your Firefox. You get Pigeon for all your instant messaging, Thunderbird transmission, and XChat IRC, where you can go online and get support and that sort of thing. Multimedia, you get a music browser, Parole media player, which is pretty neat. I actually kind of like that one. The Pulse Audio volume control, and the wonderful XF Burn. And then, of course, in Office, you get AbiWord for writing those documents. You get GNU for editing those spreadsheets. Orange Calendar and Orange Global Time, which comes standard with any XFCE desktop. Very nice looking indeed. And if you're interested in getting a distribution, such as, getting this distribution, definitely check out Xubuntu.com. Okay, and last but certainly not least in our roundup, we have Ubuntu, and this is the first release that came out as an LTS. This has 3-year support like all the other ones we looked at today with the kernel 3.13. Most of GNOME 3.10 is included with this, but if you want to get the rest of it, you're going to have to add a PPA to that, and instructions are on the GNOME Ubuntu website, where they'll tell you how to do that if you decide you want those extra added features. This comes with support for online accounts and some general optimization of the user interface. There are also some high-quality wallpapers included, and this has the classic GNOME session for those of you who really enjoyed the appearance of the GNOME to interface. We click on activities here, you'll see that you have a sidebar. On this side is where you can add additional desktops if you need it. Okay, you also have a quick launch to your Firefox web browser, your Evolution email, your Empathy instant messaging, Rhythmbox, Shotwell Photo Manager. You get the LibreOffice suite with this as well, and you also get Nautilus for managing your files, and then there is help. Of course, you can also show all applications here. Everything is beautifully laid out in this interface here, and there's a little bit of something for everyone with the inclusion of games. You can manage your Bluetooth. You get Brasero for making coffee coasters. I mean, burning your discs. I don't know why I keep saying that every time. I just can't. It must be something in the coffee. That's what it is. All right, you get Cheese webcam booth. You can manage your colors here. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. You get transmission for your BitTorrent needs. Manage your power supply and all your settings and yada yada yada. And you just easily roll through these by rolling the mouse wheel and that sort of thing. I really like how it looks. It's kind of cool. Just never really got into GNOME 3 personally. But the thing is, for those of you who have a modern system, you might get a lot of enjoyment out of this, because there are a number of people in the community that have told me that they love the GNOME interface, and that's great for some people, but it's certainly not for everyone. And you definitely want to have a modern machine to run this. So I would not recommend GNOME Ubuntu if you're switching over from Windows XP over to Linux, unless you're running one of the later model XP machines that has a good amount of RAM and a good amount of processing speed. All right, once again, Ubuntu stepped up to the plate and brought us another nice Linux distribution. Long-term support, great for those of you who are entry-level, looking to try Linux for the first time. These are good distributions to get started on. Some of these distributions are great for your older hardware that will allow you to breathe new life into them rather than having to go out and buy a new computer, where other distributions like the GNOME version, the Unity or Ubuntu, and the Kubuntu, those you'd probably want to run on modern hardware, where the Xubuntu or Lubuntu will run great on those old machines that you have collecting dust in the attic. And so you'll be able to breathe new life into those machines. Excellent effort from all the people who were involved in these projects. I will have links in the description below where you can get more information on these distributions. And you can also get links to download them either by getting a direct link or by using BitTorrent, which I would say is the preferred method for downloading distributions. I don't know what it is, but I seem to have less file corruption if I use a BitTorrent link over a direct download link, especially when my internet connection speed really isn't all that great. Well, that's all I have on this. So to the Ubuntu, Kubuntu, Lubuntu, Xubuntu, Gnomebuntu, everybody else who created these distros, good job. Thanks for your contributions to the community. And as a reminder, please consider supporting the show hosts who are bringing you the content you enjoy the most by disabling your ad blockers or shouting some coins. And also be sure to visit cupoflinux.com to get your Cup of Linux mugs and your Cup of Linux shirts and the rest of the swag and all that stuff. Okay, I think I had too much coffee. I think I better get out of here because, yeah, I'm really wired now.